So this is a tissue section of an ovary. Just like many other organs, we see the cortex, which contains the follicles, and the medulla, which is where we'll see some vasculature. So at the cortex, we see simple cuboidal epithelium, which is called your germinal epithelium, right? And deep to that is your tunica albuginea, dense irregular connective tissue layer, just like in the testes. And even deeper, we see these swirly cells that envelop and support the follicles, which are the stromal cells, right? So now let's look at different stages of follicular development, starting off first with the primordial follicle here. If all you see is a single layer of flat follicular cells that envelop the oocyte, that's a primordial follicle, okay? Now as it develops, that single layer of follicular cells will enlarge, become cuboidal, and at that point they're called granulosa cells, okay? And what distinguishes primary from primordial follicles is indeed the presence of those granulosa cells. So we see a few of those here. Primary follicle here, here, and here. Primary follicles can be unilaminar, as in there's only one layer of granulosa cells. They could also be multilaminar, right, containing multiple layers. Here we see the oocyte, the nucleus, layers of granulosa cells, and then sandwiched between the two is this dense glycoprotein structure called the zona pellucida. Okay, this pink halo right here. And of course, surrounding all of that are your wavy stromal cells. Now, what distinguishes primary from secondary follicles is the presence of this fluid-filled antrum, okay, this space here, which contains hormones. So if you see a small antral space, it's a secondary follicle, okay, zona pellucida, oocyte in the middle. And if that antral space is massive, and it's inching closer and closer towards the cortex, that is a tertiary or a Graafian follicle. Okay, here we see that there are special granulosa cells that anchor the oocyte to the lateral wall of the follicle. That's called the cumulus ophorus. And the layer of cumulus ophorus that immediately abuts the zona pellucida is the corona radiata, okay, which means crown of cells. So during ovulation, the cumulus ophorus breaks, the ovulatory complex is released, and the corona radiata supports the oocyte and secretes signaling molecules that will guide it towards the ampulla of the uterine tube, right, which is where fertilization happens. So that is how it all comes to be. Hope that was helpful.